Love and light. Oh my goodness, it has been a time away from the collective in the sense of YouTube, but definitely not in the sense of spiritually. All right, confirmation. um, so please don't think otherwise, right? And I've been taking notes, learning, growing my own soul, right? And it has really been a beautiful experience, really. I mean, if you let it be, whether you are going in something, coming out of it, same deal, right? And you do at times have to remind yourself of that, perhaps collective, right? Depending on what you're going into and or coming out of, right? We've all been somewhere, if that makes sense. And wherever you are right now is definitely not where you're heading towards, okay, as far as I can tell. Love and light, Cancer Moon 69. So tonight, as always, you guys, for this session, timeless reading, just in case, 3 years from now somebody stumbles upon this one in particular. I just felt led to indicate it's a timeless. I don't want anyone thinking like, oh, I thought they all were. There's no confusion. All right, don't create any confusion where there is no confusion, please. Right, it's just not a good practice. Okay. So there's that. And we do have two piles tonight, you guys, doing things a bit different this time. This is so interesting to me. So, I mean, yes, we've had two piles before. Yes, we've had markers, right? Thank you for the love and light, babe. We have not, if I recall correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, had two bells, all right? And so it's interesting. Okay, there could be some significance to a bell, the practice of bells, the understanding of the ways that they can be utilized as tools, means of protection, etc. Love and light, Shara. Or perhaps maybe if that sounds interesting to you, piques your interest, should look further into the ways that you, on a personal note, and dare I say spiritual, of course, just the same, um, you may want to start utilizing bells. All right. I had a conversation the other day with someone, and I too was learning. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't, I knew a lot of the aspects of bells. I do know why there's not really so many public bells anymore. Um, as well. So you might want to look into many ways. I'm speaking in code, right? Because it's a freaking live stream. So hopefully the right people are getting this. I'm just claiming it. Thank you. Next. Okay. So um, I'm going to show you the bells, right? I want you guys to intuitively hone in though. It might not be the way the bell looks. So Spirit says to also ring each one to help you guys hone in on which pile uh, maybe should have your attention the most, right? I'll say it that way because you guys just the same, and I tell you all the time, every time we have pick a pile. Maybe somebody's been working with tiles, whether it was mosaic or some type of flooring, or you're in the bathroom right now and you've got a tile floor or something. I almost said the word tile. That's interesting. But I digress. Hone in and try to utilize those other senses. Okay, if you don't get practice at it, maybe you don't get practice at it in other places. You're gonna get practice at it here, and that's also part and parcel why we do that every now and again with our special sensories to again practice utilizing our own intuition so that you can do that separately and apart from, when we gather on the channel on the live streams. All right. So I do hope you guys make yourselves comfortable. And I do hope you realize that you could resonate with both piles, one pile, and, perhaps no piles. All right. That's not me being pessimistic saying I really feel like, because, I'm reading energy. Somebody, if you try even just half-assed at this, you're going to get a little something out of tonight's message. If I do say so myself, and that's not me like tooting my own horn or anything. It's or ringing my own bell. Let me stop because we got bells here. It's just me trying to be as clear, concise, and matter of fact as possible because I do take what I do on here seriously. Okay, so thank you for those that do actually trust me to, guide you and, read your cards. Um, I don't take it with a light heart. Okay, though my heart may be light as a feather, right? Most days, no, let me stop. But you know, I don't take what I do here lightly, to be clear. So, all right. So, pile number one, your bell, this little ringy dingy. Okay, all right, well, all right. Yeah, I mean, it works and it's still shiny, right? It still holds value. That makes sense. That tracks. And pile number two, and you guys, it's not a contest from one pile to the next, to be clear, because from what I can see, y'all already know about anything y'all are going through from one pile to the next or not, okay? It's just we're all at different aspects of the path, perhaps, here. And pile number two, you've got the dream bell. It's interesting that they should ever make a bell that says that. Um, I was drawn to that one a few weeks back, and I thought it was simply for me on a personal note, you guys, just because of its sound, as well as the I do like the color of red, right? So I was thinking, okay, well, I'll just turn it around. I don't have to, and here we are, right? So maybe there's some significant synchronicity to this pile. I say maybe tongue in cheek because I know what some of the cards say, but also I'm kind of grinning just the same because it's like it is kind of funny how the channeling just is coming through. And you know what? I'm not like concerned or anything, but I will tell you as far as energy, like energetically on an energetic level, I don't know if it's because I just like where you are, frequency, vibes, and ish, right? Or if it's just something else spiritually connected. But there's a lot of energy. You got, you know, BDE as it were, right? And really talking energy, not any aspect of genitalia, to be clear. But I'm a little excited to get to that pile. But I definitely will take my time and make sure that everybody's crowns are straightened for those connecting to pile number one. And I'm being guided to just go ahead and get into this little ringy dingy situation here. This too shall pass. You know, I started the session talking about how, you know, we're either going into something or coming out of it. There's really no way to slice it, right? I mean, that's how you know you're alive. And I don't mean you're either going into something bad or coming out of something bad necessarily. Sometimes that can be the case. It's happened in the past, I'll say it that way, right? So we know, right? But to be clear, when I say you're either going into something or coming out of something collective, it ain't all bad, right? And from what I can see and what I can feel energetically and spiritually, of course, it gets better if you're thinking that you're going into something and or coming out of something bad. Okay. Now, where you can get glitched up is hyper focus, right? Like if I'm standing in you know, a parking lot waiting to go into, I don't know, let's say like a store or something. I don't know why that, maybe the store is not open yet or something. And you know, you're standing there and you feel that okay, there's indicators around and about yourself, your skin at least, right, starting to sweat perhaps, that it's hot, you're standing in the sun. uh you know, you do have the choice to kind of hyper focus on that or not. The opposite of the hyper, maybe somebody is a hiker. The opposite of the hyper, I haven't said it again. The opposite of the hyper focus version of this, we'll just say self, right? Um, you know, really is the alchemist. Because you can either stand there and really feel how your skin might be really starting to get pretty moist or wet, glistening, you might say, right? You can start to feel aspects of your skin perhaps telling you like it might be time to go inside. And you can then make the choice on top of it to panic about that. And to be clear, this I feel like is kind of an unfair example, spirit, only because, you know, skin damage and other things, ozone, right? But in normal course, right? Let's say it's raining, we'll switch it out, okay? I mean, you're getting wet, okay? Are you melting? No. Are you mad? You can be. You could, yeah, you could be mad about that if do you want to be mad about that? You know, and you got to check. You should check because do you want to be mad because it's raining? You're already wet. Should you be mad on top of being wet? How much how much more uncomfortability are you choosing on top of the uncomfortability? Because you're in charge of aspects of that. Does that make sense? It's one thing to you hear people. We all know somebody at people 2, 3, right? That love to play the victim. Well, I got wet and I didn't want to get wet, and it's like, but did you die? Kind of thing, right? Fix your crown and keep going. And I do see that whoever I'm speaking to with pound number one, you do have aspects of self discipline. I think really it's just an opportunity. What you should know right now is that you have the opportunity to kind of cross reference what you know works for you and really be brutally honest about what you can find out once baffling perhaps, right? With self to self, of course, you can't go outside of yourself for this one, you guys. um, to really see what kind of self-sabotage behavior or templated patterns that were passed down perhaps, even beyond your own familial connections, right? There are ancestral connections. So there's that too, depending on who all I'm speaking to. Okay, so I do have to be mindful of that. But you're coming out as self disciplined, trustworthy, and resilient, okay, because you can. You have before and you will again, right? And it's not a word curse because, I mean, you will again. Does it have to be? You will go through and or come out of something bad again? Do we have to plan for bad? I mean, even in our example, the rain was unexpected, and the rain in that example, to be clear, was viewed as bad. But did the individual self in that example die? Just nearly got wet. Okay? Life was still able to be sustained, right? And, when you can just even get a marker like that, like, wow, life was sustained, it shouldn't be hard to find that gratitude button to turn on. And so that's how you start that alchemy. Okay. Otherwise you're hyper focusing like, gosh, I'm wet. Now on top of wet, you're mad. When you're in an angry state, certain non-holy states of anger, I'll put it that way, things can happen like sickness because you're operating outside of balance. Okay. And that's how often disease from being diseased in a state of dis-ease long enough. Okay. And all it takes is a few thoughts, sadly, right? But also powerfully, because all it takes is a few thoughts. Not every time, right? Sometimes, and sometimes not even that many. There's levels to this, just saying. All right, your belt is small, right? But yet mighty, still functional, still glistening. All right, still very purposeful, purpose filled. And you might say, in certain aspects, you know, this trustworthy is coming through. I can look to this bell. I know very much that, oh, okay, it's got whatever the heck this thing is called. I should know, but right? Because sometimes you pick up a bell that don't have that. You're not hearing nothing. You could look at it all the live long day, but right? It's not even functioning. You are functioning. There's a reason to be grateful. Maybe you're not functioning at the top of the mountain that you're climbing right now. Okay. Are you not grateful because you are fearing that you will never get to the top of that mountain? That I need you to know, if that's you, you are self sabotaging and setting yourself up for failure at doing just that. And that is not divinity's agenda for you. And that's what you should know right now. Okay. Now there is some out questioning, trying to figure out what to do. Um, you're being guided to go inward. This is self with self time. Um, I'm not poo pooing, of course, on, tarot readers at all, right? The idea of counseling, even, right? Guidance. I'm not poo pooing on that. It's just you would be in a red flag area state of mind, at least, if not also spiritually, if you really were of a mindset that you had to go outside of yourself to get some of this esoteric knowledge, some of this witchy woo woo, some of this intuition, whatever you're here looking for. And so I'm here to guide you, pile number one, into understanding that understanding. If that was you, okay? Now, not all aspects of this pile number one or pile number two tonight, as with every session, are going to resonate. There's still a general collective message. So, all I can tell you is if you feel called out, it resonates. If you feel confused, it's not for you. And please be sure to make sure that you're grounded such to the point where you do not remain in any confusion, right? You're not here for. And I feel like we're talking about confusion so much because pound number one, you are battling that pretty consistently. And I just have to say, if that's you, okay, I'm not word cursing anyone here. You know if it resonates or not, collective, right? If that's you, you damn sure should go inward. Ask yourself, why are you fearing? Why are you fearing a lack of ability? Why are you fearing a lack of support by divinity? Right? I mean, my goodness, it's one thing to understand that you can't do everything here in any one lifetime, hell, timeline, all by yourself, right? Okay, but how does that have to equate to something bad? How does that, pound number one, have to equate to some sort of like emergency fight or flight permission? It doesn't have to. Because really, and to take it a step further, all right, you'd have to ask yourself, I'm not here to project it onto you, are you fearing that where you can't, right? Because, logically and spiritually, here to do everything always and in all ways by ourselves makes sense, right? So maybe we can't do everything. I'm not saying to be pessimistic, but I'm just saying, right? Factually, perhaps, in a grounded mindset, you understand that, okay? It's not what we lead with, but all right, so now that we're all caught up. Now, the situation, pound number one, is calling for you to trust, all right? Either divinity supports you and you're connected to it, whether you call it God, Goddess, whether you call it Holy Spirit, Jesus, Yeshua, Buddha, Allah, okay? All right. However, here, okay, higher power, perhaps. All right. The agenda was never just to like set you up for failure and watch with popcorn in the peanut gallery in the spirit realm. You are so supported. Uh, but the understanding here too coming through is that if you are in a mindset where you are wavering in faith about that, then you are, essentially allowing weakness in or delay in, regarding your manifestations, your answered prayers. And this is not a doom and gloom message. This is like a, hey, continue with your resilient, trustworthy, and disciplined ass, okay, to alchemize. That's what you're being called into. The alchemist. You are. You found this channel and you're not able to alchemize? That's odd. Not sure how that would have happened. Just saying. All right, my collective, I have the best collective hands down. Nobody's telling me anything different because I know your energy. Okay, I can read it. Y'all are, people that would not be carbon copies or cookie cutter textbook versions of a human. To be clear, you stand out. Some people say you're too much. Some people say you're weak. Right? Some people don't say much to you because you prefer to not have anyone speak to you, right? Because you know better. I get it. All right, keep going. Wherever you have questions, meditate, go in. There could be some significance here for pound number one, particularly to children. Might be trying to figure out co parenting situations or relocation situations, I'm hearing to say. All right, go within. The divine, being the ultimate strategist, dead ass, I'll just tell you this much, right? The divine is not going to give a tarot reader, a psychic medium, any vessel of God, right? All of the answers. You know, Holy Spirit told me many, many, many moon cycles back. Gosh, I'm trying to think. How many years ago was that? Maybe like, maybe like 7 years ago. Could be some significance to that number as well. Just saying, because the reason why I say that is I'm mentioning the number, but I also know what that number means, and it's exactly count all of your blessings. That number you might want to look up. All right, especially if you've been honestly, when you check and cross reference in recent energies, really kind of struggling to count your blessings. All right, this will help you. Okay, you guys, once you straighten your crown, you're going to get this clarity that, like, the whole time, this new beginning confirmation is for you. Okay, and many of you, you know, you're too intuitive not to know this, right? It's it's a bit of a dance, I'll give you that much, to consistently, keyword, right? Trust in self and trust perhaps in divine. Is it even in that kind of distortion it clear that there is a connection, a direct connection, right? Between us and source, the all in all, the one creator, you know? The top tier, upper echelon light source, okay? Just saying, right? Um, so continue to work on this. There could be some significance to rubber duckies, but you could also be guided to take a spiritual bath here. Really, it doesn't have to be anything ritualistic, or you don't have to get certain flowers, this, that, and the other. It's just setting the intention, like, um, and water is definitely a tool for sure. Of course, it's cleansing, of course, of course. And if that first Ace of Cups wasn't enough to make you believe, all right, here's the Ace of Swords. I mean, Archangel Michael could be an archangel of some significance. Maybe you pray to him as well. Um, but I know that you're going through a lot of burdens right now. But at the same time, this burdensome energy, funnily enough, is the indicator that it's about to end, is what I'm hearing to say. It's like if you tap into that, if you meditate on that, it's you will see that clearer, I'm getting to say. Okay. Um, could be some significance to a striped sweater. I just pulled the two of pentacles and excuse me, I just pulled the two of cups and cut the deck to the two of pentacles here. And really, I was already going to say it with the two of cups, but this other confirmation, you could be getting confirmations in twos. I know they normally speak of them in threes, right? But this is the second set of twos. um, but balance is sure to be a thing for you in the very near future, especially with that Ten of Wands coming out very near future. All right, but here's the thing: if you're believing against this, you're walking away from the blessings and into more tower energy, and it's like, please don't do that. All right, give yourselves grace. You're going through a DNA upgrade here. You could be recently experiencing deja vu, or you could experience deja vu um, in confirmation of this, or as a synchronicity of this message being for you. It's funny, I just had deja vu the other day. That was crazy. Whew. Um, But as far as what decision or decisions you're looking to make here, collective, those resonating with pile number one, Spirit saying, wait, okay, there's some like super duper alone time that you're being called into with Spirit, okay? And it's kind of given there's no way around that. I don't know if you have been trying to avoid that or what here, but it's kind of given pile number one to be, again, clear, succinct, and ultimately frank, is the way that the sentiment is, but it's basically giving the balls in your court on this one, okay, because you're powerful enough to self-sabotage if you want, um but you're also powerful enough to get everything that you currently know you came here for, and so much more, if you just take heed to the other aspects of the message. But, you know, free will, right? Not here to force anybody to do anything. And, you know, neither is the divine. You know, you live and learn and grow your soul either way. So either way, you know, it just is what it's going to be. But you are here to co-create with Source. And so where you do have your part to play, where you do have your abilities to make change, you know, you should, right? And be intentional about it, all right? Whether you resonated with all, some, or none of pile number one, you guys, be intentional, live intentional, right? Take yourself seriously enough to do that, please, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ring the bell for the free yes no's, you guys. Please check the description box for the live stream rules regarding the freebies. I appreciate it. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look-see. Spirit asked me not to kind of like run through all of the cards here regarding this Who Is It deck, I believe it's termed. And so we're going to use it for both piles, but we're going to use the full deck each time, is my understanding. 1 second here. Is that? Did I? Oh, here we go. I was going to say, I'm like, where is my deck? Like, half of it was missing. Like, that's not true. All right. Oh, thank you, Exaltation. Love and light. Love and light, Neo. Okay, let's see here. So we're going to see what we get for pile number one. Now, this Who Is It Oracle, right? This is going to indicate perhaps for some, all right, aspects of yourselves, collective, right? Or aspects just the same for, like, you know, I mentioned children. There could be other individuals involved in some aspects of your decision making. So take what resonates here. You know, this is not a situation where, you know, you're a man and I'm trying to say you're a female with pink hair, you know, kind of thing, right? So as I look down and I see. So take what resonates, all right? And if you know that your energy was connected to pile number one, right, or any of the piles, and the oracle doesn't hit, you need to utilize your intuition. Maybe it's a test on that, right? Spirit tests me all the time, so I am well trained in some things. I was thinking about that earlier today, like, man, if it don't kill you, and did we die? No, we did not. Not in a way that anyone thought, anyways. There's more than one way to die. But I digress. All right. 3 more, Spirit. Please. 1. Oh, 2. Thanks. Alright, I'll be nice and take them. How about that? Okay, there was more than 3. Alright, let's see. And I'm going to get some initials and chart placements too, just because sometimes, you know, maybe there's not a picture for somebody like you, right? I feel like that often. I'm like, yeah, ain't no way somebody like you just I should have the audacity and just like make one of these and just have like my picture. Could you imagine? It's like, oh, that'd be kind of creepy, I think. But anyway, here we go. That'd be really creepy if it wasn't my deck and I just I'm shuffling. Like, why is my picture? I'm like, oh no, did I just manifest that? It can be that simple, you guys. Do you know how many times I just like thought I was thinking, thought I was brainstorming, thought I was wondering whole time, right? The universe is listening, God's listening, and you're just ordering up. And I feel like we're talking about that too because pound number one, especially those who resonated for pound number one, you guys listen up. It can be that simple. Don't make it any harder. Like, oh, this is a big thing that I have to manifest. What's a big thing? The big thing is that you can manifest. If you've manifested a parking spot, you can manifest a Birkin. You can manifest, like a new place, a new job. And if you've manifested a Birkin, a new place, a new job before, you can do it again. And if you've ever had a prayer answered one time, you can have a prayer answered again. Like, so you just have to, sometimes you do have to logic it out. It's like, okay, so like the fact that a miracle happened back in 1983, right? It's like, and yeah, miracles still happen right now. You can have another one right now. Just accept it. Be grateful for it. Don't wait for it to come in talking about, well, I was going to be ready to be grateful whenever I seen the. That's not the way the program always runs. Not here anyway, right? Not even in New Earth, you guys. Again, there's no way around either going through something to get to the other side where you're coming out of it, or coming out of something to go into something else different that expands you and that doesn't kill you, so it makes you stronger and that excites you and that is pleasurable. Like, don't forget about the other stuff. It's not just doom and gloom, like, oh, waiting for the next blow, just taken blow by blow, right? Because next thing you know, if you hyper focus on that shit, that's what you're gonna know. That's the stories you'll have to talk about, and that is what you'll have to show for yourselves in the end. And again, that was not part of the divine blueprinted agenda for your ass, your mental state, your health, none of it. Okay, so please, all right, please believe now more than ever, all right, because you're so close to your next breakthrough that you're so close to your next. I just that holy. All right, huh? That's pretty neat. Ooh, tea, right? So, general collective messages from one pal to the next. We got 2 pals, right? And literally, pal number one, I know we're finishing you up, right? But the thing is the next pile that we got to talk about, you might want to perk your ears up for too, because it's giving where you're going in certain aspects, measures, forms, and degrees, okay? And I don't mind talking about it. Just saying. But see, I can say it because I know what's in the cards and I can feel the energy, right? You guys better tap in. All right, one more. Okay, that's good then. All right, bottom of the deck is Pisces. So whether this is your chart placement collective member resonating with pile number one, or perhaps one of your BAMs, your kids' chart placements, take it however it resonates there. We only have 2 other chart placements, Virgo and Taurus, coming out, okay? So again, it makes sense you're coming out as reliable. It makes sense that you're coming out as resilient. That's a lot of earth energy, a lot of grounded energy for the most part, okay? And, sometimes our grounded energy can become, affected by other things, beyond that of the everyday stressors, perhaps, right? So be mindful, if that part resonates and you feel like you have been under aspects of attack, right? Again, alchemize. Don't hyper focus there going, oh no, I know it's so and so with the bippity and the boppity. And last Thursday, my hair fell out when my hairpin unclipped from the. It's like, no, don't make it, right? Even if you saw like matter of factual evidence of spiritual attack or experienced matter of factual goings on, right? The goal never is to hyper focus on that. It's really not, okay? The goal would be, again, going back to kind of the beginning here, pile number one, to have faith that in spite of whatever you're seeing, understanding about, and or experiencing, there is so much protection placed upon you, you know, that you should believe in that to tap into its benefits all the more. I say all the more because, you know, there is a level and measure of grace divinity affords us. And I feel like it's not talked about enough in the, you know, perhaps religious and maybe aspects of cultural communities. Um, you know, again, we're not here to be set up for failure. Um, we go through enough, right? Just doing what we do, just existing, right? And so, you know, it would be a really detrimental, again, red flag area state of mind, just saying, Pound One, if you found yourselves believing otherwise, right? Um, and that would be sad because it's not the truth, but you could live it out like as if it's truth. Like if you really, really wanted to actually like really believe that, you know, literally everything in existence is against you, you could. You have free will too, honey. You shouldn't free will it that way, though. You know what I mean? Swing it back around into the positivity, all right? Into the faith filled area and outside of the red flag zone, okay? And we only have a few initials here with a first, middle, or last name. I'm also hearing to say that for one person here, there could be a significance of one or more of these letters connecting to a, it seems to be a pet of the canine variety. Could even be a, I'm not sure if that's a poodle or a golden doodle. Poodle, well, poodle and doodle, right? Yeah, poodle doodle. I'm sure it's cute. All right, anyways, we've got R. Don't mind my Piscean energy right now. We've got Q and B. We've got D. And last but not least, O. All right, so as far as what we got here, eat away. We had this many? All right, I'm just going to read them and show them. All right, so here we go. You know what? See, look how many came out, though. That's some crazy work. Because remember what I said Spirit told me? That we were going to... Let me see how much... Let me see. Oh, okay, see. You know what? I thought it was half. I thought it was half. It's a little less than half. That's like a quarter. I mean, I meant to say a third. We got a third of the deck here. Your dog's name is Bori. Aww. All right, we've got wavy hair. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm going to say, like, what's on the card, right? But really, it's about also, like, how the person looks, dresses, you know, etc., right? Actually, I don't think I can show this one. Um, could be something with the skin, you know. Could be a skin condition. It could be, like, somebody could have, like... I'm not coming for anybody. I'm trying to describe what I see. But it could be, like, I don't know if they call them pock marks, or I'm not sure why some people do have that. Not to be rude, but it's almost seems like the skin gets waxy and like there's like bigger holes and stuff. Um, doesn't make you any less beautiful or handsome. I'm just saying it's a different texture skin. Or you could have chicken skin. Somebody could have chicken skin with the bumps, the little bumpy scaly. So you know what, you, that's so funny. For anyone wondering why I rubbed my arm, decades ago, I used to have chicken skin. I used to question, like, why is that, like, crunchy there? Like, just was nasty. Like, I'd scrub and scrub. Like, honestly. And, long story short, I think it was just connecting to my filtration system at the time. So, definitely was not eating and drinking correctly for much of any life-sustaining reasons. Apparently, I just was very ignorant and following some patterns that were handed down. Yeah, it was a whole cocktail of sorts. Anywho, could be some significance to tribal print, tribal energy. I meant to say, aesthetic. Well, damn, somebody got tribal energy. That tracks. Could be sharp facial features here. Somebody, this card says unhealthy habits, right? I'm not projecting that onto my collective. Okay, that's, you know, if you know, you'd have to check, right? Speaking of that self-sabotage, but there could be some significance to that tongue. No, I meant the aesthetic. Did you see the man? Or just, let me stop. Somebody here could have curly hair, whether blonde or not. All right. It's almost giving like if you blur the face, it's almost giving Christina Ricci vibes. Maybe somebody's name is Christina, or somebody's last name could be Ricci. All right. If that's you, hit no. I said it like it was automatically gonna have to be the celebrity. Oh my god. Thankfully, it doesn't work like that all the time. Some people have some really, wait, hold on. How do I want to say this? Some really bad people have some really cool names, and some really cool people have some ties to some really bad people who also have the same name. So I try not to judge. All right. I don't want the karma. Somebody here could have long hair, whether black or not. But you could have long black hair or just black hair. You could be black and have hair. Don't mind me, I'm feeling squirrely, you guys. So we had sharp face and exaggerated features as well. I'm just saying, don't, you know, don't hurt nobody. Like, tone, you know, you might want to, because this is kind of given, like, if you are on the trapeze, this makes sense. If you're on the stage, this makes sense. Otherwise, it's given, don't go to church like that. Or, I don't know. That's just some dark, even for me, I love my makeup bold, you already know, but dang. I feel like, I feel like people might stare for other reasons on the strength of that one. Just the eye makeup, I don't know, it's getting me. All right, so we've got straight hair coming out, but I do need to show the pictures when I can, apparently. Medium skin tone coming out, as well as somebody here could have a bambina in the oven. Ooh, there's the decision. Wow. Man. Thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. Because I'm like, half the time, I feel like the collective is like soaking up the readings and not necessarily like communicating that, like, yeah, this is for me. Like, so I do rely on these confirmations from Spirit. Let me know. Okay, so we did show this one before. Somebody could wear, you know, like different fun colors. This makes me think of somebody I was just in their presence a couple nights ago. Um, they're pretty cool. Okay, so somebody here could be. We already established that, Spirit. You got like all these cards. Just how many did we need to say about the same person? Hazel eyes, freckles, LGBTQ plus, or you could have seen a rainbow. You could have had a deja vu about a rainbow, seeing a rainbow. That'd be neat. We've got beard, right? Or the guy, girl, what have you, because you know, shit. And we've got white American. Sorry, I just have to, something about me, just, I have to say it. I'm like, why would they even say that? I don't understand. Like, who made these cards? Ooh, I'll show this one, though. Well, hold on, let me cover up, hold on, let me cover up a couple things here. Go ahead. Somebody here could be ripped. Oval face coming out. Blue eyes. Could be some significance to white clothing. Or black clothing. Okay. Could be some significance to Asian culture as well. Gosh, we've got a little something to everybody. Really? And I'm getting that for those that resonate with needing to make a decision about a child that is outside of your oven. um, they could be the same height as you. It doesn't have to be the case. But that's what I have for pile number 1. All right, so let's see here. Ooh, Toastmaster. That sounds fun. We'll have a good, healthy competition. Sometimes. I'm like, sometimes I'm up for the challenge. Other times I'm like, it depends on the participants, probably. But anyways. Where the heck? Okay, there we go. Hello. Okay, so it might, I was kind of picking up on this energy, right? Which is like the no, like, oh, but really, I think what it is it might seem like you're not going to win until it happens, right? Like, this is not, how like sometimes you can go and it's like, okay, nobody else showed up for the competition, and of course I'm gonna win. It's not necessarily that. Like, I feel like there's good competitors, but yes, and congratulations. Love and light country. You're very welcome, Char. All right, let's see here. So what I'm going to do, you guys, because I need to keep it moving, I'm going to go to pile number 2, and that was our dream bell. All right. So rings a little different. Wait, let me see here. Let me see. That's crazy. The energy just, I don't even have to try for this shit. That's so crazy. Pile number 2. Speaking to you, if you are creative, if you are ambitious, and you are imaginative. Ooh. Makes sense you found the channel. Makes sense you're part of the collective, right? Right. Here's the stitch, though. You pissing people off. Aww. You want to know how the divine don't give a fuck, right? It's giving Judgment Day is here, and y'all know Saturn is in retrograde energy, all right? Not gonna lie, I read this Seven of Swords as 8, and the energy was giving, like spiritual court, spiritual jail appearance date, spiritual court summons, etc. It's giving that. And then, okay, so this is just off of the pretend 8 of swords that I saw in the deck here. And judgment right with it. So, oops, would not want to be whoever the hell they are. Whoever the hell they thought they were, right? Right, okay. 7 of Wands with the death energy in the tower. Whatever you went through, collective, for pile number 2, wasn't pretty. I get it. Could be some significance to hoodie. Could be some significance to a protest. A recent collaborative protest of sorts. Could be some significance to the aesthetic of this person, or the guy, girl, what have you. Could be some significance to organizations, school. Oh, hold on. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, you're a truth teller, so yeah. All right. Listen to this. The first card out for you, pile number 2. You are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. Love and light, Fiona. You have been praying for the things to heal, for the new opportunities to appear, for relationships to improve, perhaps. And Spirit wants you to know these prayers. I'd like to change the card and let you know what Spirit's saying. Have been answered. My goodness. Would they forever will be answered? Stands to reason they're already answered. Okay, now maybe you might find in current energies, in current timelines, you're still aligning with where that truth lies. And that's why it's really important to learn the power of acceptance. You know, letting go can free you. If you let go and you have nothing left to lose, how free. Where you are right now, collective, as well as pile number 2, is where you are supposed to be. And no, I'm not talking about just the channel, but hey, right? Um, but in life, you know, and I feel like we're talking about that because, you know, maybe you feel like you could be farther along. Yeah, well, maybe you could be. I do see a lot of opposition, right? But at the same time, how delayed are you if you are walking karma? How delayed are you if you are teaching lessons, if you are assisting others, perhaps with learning and growing their own souls by being the example of what it's like to be faith filled, of what it's like to take yourselves seriously to the point where others would just have to. They're not going to get away with not taking you seriously anymore. You've changed. You've got boundaries. You've got growth. You're no longer in the same vibrational frequency that you were 13 years ago, 3 years ago, right? 12 minutes ago, perhaps. Those that quantum leap, if you know, you know, right? Resilience is one of the strongest qualities you have. And when you look back, it's gotten you through so much. Okay. You know, yes, divinity gets credit, right, for its assistance. But you too get credit for every time you tried again, for every time you did not actually break. You bent, perhaps a lot, to the point where you feared you were going to be all the way broken. But you made the choice to stay in it, all right? In hopes, perhaps. Maybe you didn't even know, maybe you didn't even believe you were going to win it, right? Whatever the it is. But did you die? No. Okay, not in any kind of mal way. I have to say it that way because there is such a thing as death and rebirth energy in the spirit, right? But you've gotten through so many trials and tribulations. You've gotten through so many psychic attacks, I'm hearing to say. All right. And you will continue to get over, to get out of, all right, to get away from. So lean on your inner strength, as you know you can do, as you know you have done. You've done it before. There's some significance to that. You've done it before. You've alchemized before. You've manifested before. You've believed before. You've received before. You know, now is not the time, collective, whether you resonate with pile number 1 or pile number 2 tonight, all right, to give up. Breakthrough is upon us, okay? Now, when breakthrough energy is upon us, it's not a prerequisite, you guys, to see it first. It's okay to give yourselves permission to believe, to receive. It's kind of the actual prerequisite. But I digress. All right, so there is that, okay? Now, whoever I'm speaking to, you're not wet behind the ears spiritually, and I don't mean to insinuate that you are, all right? I just want you to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, whether you feel like that's a baby step forward or not, okay? Because you're too powerful. You know, it's kind of the general sentiment for pile number 1, but I think for pile number 2, man, I'm speaking to somebody. Okay, sorry, oh, I really don't like that feeling. Your enemies underestimated you. Okay, so you know what that tells me? Maybe you don't have a lot of people in your corner. Maybe you don't have a lot of la familia, as they might say, right? Maybe you had to learn the hard way as to why that might be the case, right? And so you've got these boundaries about you. You know, you have learned the art of detachment, okay? That becomes real problematic for people who like to stay in your energy to fuck you up, to drain you, to break you, Okay. And I do see that there were some people, this could be organizations, all right, whatever you want to name them, plug it in. Because this is a situation, if you know this is yours, you're going to know, right? Um, this could be, individuals as well, but I am picking up heavy on this, like, I just can only say it this way, an institutional organization. And by institutional, I don't necessarily mean to indicate some sort of prison system. I'll just say it that way, okay? Double confirmation for you as well, pile number 2. There's 22222. You guys want to look up the twos, both of these. I mean, really, pile number 1 and pile number 2. Your dreams are coming true now. You could be getting messages in your dreams, or the messages that you have, or the messages. Your dreams are messages. Apparently, I can just leave it at that. I was trying to say, apparently your dreams are, synchronicities of what's to come. But some of you could also be that you're receiving downloads of next steps, right? Of what next steps should be implemented. My goodness. Um, Now you could understand that you are an earth angel here. You could also be a form of a healer. Now, this doesn't have to be somebody like super out there going, I'm a healer, come to me for the right. But you could have ways about you. People feel comfortable. They start gushing, at the mouth, just really just telling their whole life story and you didn't even ask, right? As a telltale sign, you're a healer, all right? It's something um, energetic, right? And not always something outwardly seen. Okay, so to be clear, I'm not saying it like you have to have a certain robe, a certain cape, a certain hood, a certain hat, right? But take however that resonates, and if that does pique your interest as far as um, learning more about that to see if you actually wholeheartedly connect with that, you should. Okay, you guys, I tell you all the time, study to show yourselves approved. Please, you should never just take any one source of information and run with it outside of your intuition. I'll say it that way. And even with your intuition, it's not necessarily one source giving you that input, okay, depending on who you are, how you're made, and your spiritual contract, etc. Right? So just saying, right? But you are divinely protected, and whatever intervention is necessary for you, the divine sees fit to bring that in for you. And you need not worry and you need not question that. If anything, it's giving in the next few weeks, you will be seeing evidence of that, many of you. For the lot of you connected to pile number 2 that may have been wondering about, receiving confirmation on which side of karma you stand regarding some aspects of these goings on, connecting to these mal energy, these enemies, these organizations, okay, these individuals, these karmics, okay. Remain calm at this time, right? Your dreams are coming true. Remain calm. Like, are you what? Where's the problem, right? And I get it. I get it. You've been through a lot. All right. You could be a tarot reader, and either way, okay, you're about to be. It's. I'm hearing to say next up, right? You're about to be spotlighted. You're about to be presented. Oh, yeah. That's big stuff. Okay. And you will be walking in abundance. It's so interesting because it's like this Eight of Cups keeps calling my name, basically. Keep being drawn to it. There could be some significance to this fuchsia, magenta, however you want to say these pinks, right? But interestingly enough, it's like you're walking away, perhaps from everything. Remember talking about after opening the channeling for pile number 2. You can free yourself by kind of letting it all go. And sometimes letting it go is just simply mentally. I'm not saying like throw out all your shit, right? But perhaps you had to throw out all your shit. What if you had to? Could you survive that? I need you to know if you're being asked to throw out all of your shit, circumstantially, perhaps, right? You're going to be fine. I know it may not seem like it, and from one moment to the next, you're going to be so a-okay. And it's really taken me back to that. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I didn't. I did shuffle that. I think that was for pal one. But in my, oh my gosh, I went right to it. Look, you're literally walking off. It's like this frequency, this vibration, this timeline, this path, these people, these places, these organizations, this mental state, right, was not good enough, cannot sustain you any longer. You have grown. You are too much in the most glorious ways, right? Not too much with any shame to be like added on to that. No, right? We don't need baggage here where we're going, right? So what you're taking with you really just has to matter, be intentional, and match the vibe, right? This is glorious filled energy. This is not something that you want to miss out on. You know what I mean? Your inner child is even smiling, connecting to whatever is being brought in with that Ace of Cups, okay? And this could also include love, right? But really, I'm just feeling like this is starting with a self to self discovery. And I love that most collective, because here's why. When you do the self to self work and then get into the self to somebody else work, you're going to be amazing at that. And I feel like you're setting yourself up to win every time with that. I feel like when people kind of try to sidestep the self to self, and try to run outwardly towards others, they're just living a life that at best could be half-assed, in spite of the money, the bank accounts, in spite of the status, the access, in spite of the whatever else perks could be perceived by connecting outwardly to others, right? And there are perks, I get that, but not to the point where they trump anything that you could do from self to self. And I feel like if more people could kind of FAFO on that, man, we'd heal the world, all right? But you have been really doing a healthy balance walk here, all right? I do see you. Wait, hold on one second. I do see you balancing ish out, because you have been living a lifestyle of self-love, and I love that for you. I told you it makes things a lot prettier, healthier, better, right? Just saying, and nothing wrong there. Now I do see that there were some blockages attempted. Keyword is not blockages. Please do not make the keyword blockages, okay? Attempts, okay? You can see the screen and read it. Oh, can you see the screen and read it? No, you can, okay? Um, and so what of it? Because we got this big, fat, ginormous Ace of Cups, and we know the Ace of Cups, standardly, textbook-wise, right, is talking low. So please don't second guess that now. There's something about like, hey, everybody, just chill the fuck out and believe. You're welcome. Basically. Um, and I'm not laughing at anyone. I tend to giggle when the energy kind of dips a bit, because I don't want to match that vibe. And so, to be clear, I'm not laughing at you, all right, or anyone here. Just alchemizing, like we just talked about a few moments ago. All right, now I know that you have valid feelings about the past, whatever and what all over that includes, okay? Because I can see for many of you that whatever you went through, whether this is an organization, an individual, uh, there's also family ties here. It could have been situations where, again, attempts were made, right? To set you up, to put you in a mental state where it's like, oh no, you're just fucked up in the head, bro. Like, that ain't, no, we would never do that. Oh no, I would never do that behind your back. I would never say that. Right? Whole time, just dead ass projecting and gaslighting, because the whole time, dead ass did that and more, right? spying on you guys, all right? Divination, spying, all right? Checking in on the energy, spying, all right? Checking social media, that too, obviously, right? And these people, these organizations, these individuals, these karmics, these family members, however you know, plug in the coordinates there, babe. They wanted you to submit, but you're a truth teller. How would what? How would you? So you submit to divine authority? Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, yeah. Okay. The light, the truth is the way, right? Basically. Oh, okay. But submitting to, I'm sorry, what kind of karmic individuals and perhaps worse? No, thank you. Not on the menu, right? And your divine guidance team wants you to know, right? It's not on the menu, never was, never will be. You can't submit by divine right, rule, and order. Now what? Okay? So all of that they were projecting, throwing at, intending to bippity boppity and boo boo your ass with and over and about, all of the blockages. Oh my goodness, this is getting deep, huh? Like, shit, man. I don't think I would want to be in the category of those folks. Just saying, because you want to talk about who's submitting to who and what now? What? Yikes. You got goons on your spiritual guidance team. I can feel it. You're ready to rumble too. Mollywop. Hmm. Hmm. You know, I feel like pile number two. Y'all know that the spiritual protection, it ain't always pretty, is it? Right? Like, we're grateful, right? But I feel like sometimes we would choose maybe even a little bit different ways. And I think at the same time, divine guidance being the ultimate strategist in every stuff, right? Source, the all in all, being omniscient in everything, knows that. And so that's why we have to talk about, it's kind of out of our hands. We really can't, we're not here to play God. We're not here to get in the way of karma. We're not here to get in the way of divine right, rule, and agenda. Just like we're not here to get in the way of anyone's free will. Some people make choices, and they do. Then they've got karma. And you too, right? Karma, just like we talked about with pound number one, going through or coming out of something. Same deal with karma. It doesn't have to be something bad, something uncomfortable, something unpleasant. But the interesting thing about karma, just the same, even if things are uncomfortable, perhaps to the point of, from moment to moment, being un, uh, unbearable, you might say. On the other side, you can clearly see how it maybe was part and parcel of the deliverance, part and parcel of the actual karmic or dharma type of package, right? Something good. So you really have to be mindful, okay? Stay grounded, stay faith-filled, check in with self, check in with Holy Spirit, of course, right? And continue on to do this work because you already are victory. For those that do perform out their affirmations list, you might want to actually add, I am victory. You know, my name is victory. My bank account is victory. Speak it out, you guys. I'm very mindful with my words on here and generally, as best I can, in normal course, um, to watch my words because the way you phrase things, the way you speak, the way you sing, the way you joke, mm-hmm, can all affect you and perhaps others. All right. And gosh, I know y'all already affecting others because this jealousy card coming out. Okay. Well, people don't get jealous over couch potatoes. Right? Maybe some people do get jealous over couch potatoes though, deadass, because like I know like in moments of being like feeling overworked, In certain degrees, I want to be the couch potato. So I guess there's no foolproof example there, because you can choose to be jealous over anyone or anything, to be positive in just about any circumstance. Seen some individuals be super positive in some nightmarish shit, man. Like, are you what? Good on you. You could say that and think it. It's like looking around. It's like a scene from like one of the Saw franchise or like one of the Blumhouse productions. Like, you're like, are you? And so you're really okay, right? And then there's some, a little bit of nothing. Oh, you literally spilt some milk. You're shedding tears for 30 days straight. I don't understand. Like, why would anybody do that? Woo wee, right? But it's about the, okay? You know, Somebody spills a little bit of milk and one person goes, it's okay. Same person, perhaps in the same room, goes, Michael, this is all we had for the next 30 years. And I know it's illogical. I mean, milk don't even last damn 30 days, let alone 30 years, right? But if the perception was that, it might be. And it's all my fault, right? Like, there could be these layers of perception, right, that are either helping or hurting. Okay? Two people standing in the same room, and only one person's crying over the spilt milk. Because only one person has a certain perception. I'm not even here to say what's right or wrong necessarily, okay? But in this instance, of course, clearly, with this example being the milk and 30 years being so damn illogical, right? Not that we love to talk logic necessarily in the spiritual community, but my goodness, 30 years, milk, right? Just saying. And so those resonating with being the tarot readers, you could actually be in the public eye because of that. But also for many of you, you're in the quote unquote public eye in the sense that, people are checking to see, you still good? Hell, you got karmics checking to see, are you still good, because of the bippity and the boppity, right? Bippity boppity boo. How you doing, right? Then you have others just watching because you are actively alchemizing, you are actively shining, you are actively victory, all right? And so people are taking notice. And that is part and parcel of your karma, as well as these folks, individuals, organizations, institutions, family members, karmics, okay? These people wanted you out of your mind so that you were not effective. You may want to also, like pile number one, take a spiritual bath. You are being asked to utilize sea salt power. Okay, so whether this is, you actually taking a dip in the nearby ocean, if that's you, if it makes sense, or really just gaining access, however it makes sense for you, to some sea salt water, and taking a dip, taking a splash. All right, same deal with that sun. Okay, energy. You could connect to it anyhow. Maybe you don't even realize it, but you should intention to do that, especially with your pineal gland energy. Excuse me, you guys should cleanse. I'm literally like, I literally have no reason to burp, and I'm just like burping like all of a sudden, like so aggressively. It's so gross. So please cleanse as I'm talking about cleansing. Because the situation is you. All right. We talk about self-love as a lifestyle, right? Not just like a Sunday situation, not just a summertime thing or a summertime thing. Same too with the self and spiritual protection intention of self-love, okay? And so, again, doing your part, like we talked about number one, is important for you guys too, okay? Not in the sense that you're not protected otherwise, my goodness. you're protected. Ain't no way you not protected, right? But in the sense of like, do you want to feel all aspects of, um, what might be in your auric energy, in your auric field, right? And you can't question, you guys, like, well, why do I feel or experience some aspects of it, or whatever type of mal energy is being projected towards your way, because your guides want you to know, right? I mean, also your guides want you to understand what the signs are so that you can help others, especially you guys, because you're coming out as in the public eye, you're coming out as tarot readers, earth angels, healers. Okay, so you don't get to be a healer and never been like pricked bloody. You know what I mean? Like those that no, man. If you don't know what it's like to walk around with just basically raw energetic skin, you know, walking around like you're just going through it on all levels. I don't know what to talk, you might not actually have gotten to the healer status. Just saying. Not that it's necessarily a status, but it is definitely some sort of experience that you do get initiated into, depending on what all's in your soul contract. It depends on the way that looks like and sounds like, of course. But man, I don't know any healer that doesn't know what it's like to have the expectation as well as opportunity, you might say, time and time and time again, to alchemize hell. um, there could be, for some here, some significance to family members. It might not be an organization. Um, yeah, I love that. Yep. All right, so, I get it. Like, you might be in this Nine of Swords energy or fighting this off. Pile number 2, we're going to wrap up here. Oh, I love that. The Four of Swords underneath. There could be some significance to divine feminine energy here. That makes sense. You're coming out as a tarot reader, but just saying. Not to say if you're a man that this isn't applicable. I'm just saying I'm picking up on that. But this justice energy comes in for you, all right? On the other side of healing, reflection, divine timing. Could be some significance to fish. Or, man. Could be some significance to lollipops or candy canes or candy. Maybe somebody here likes candy a lot. Somebody could be preparing for, just had a birthday party. Just being guided to show you these. It gets better. All right. And of course, it gets so great, right, that the justice stands. Okay. It's like I want to say I'm sorry for everything that you went through, but at the same time, when you get to where you're going, ooh, and the high priestess underneath, right? I think that you're gonna be just fine. I think you know, there is some level of high value to the amount of beauty that one can find when one looks back through the history as they intimately know their timeline to be, and can see how it didn't stay stuck bad down in any one area of lack for the whole entire duration of your existence. Okay. Now, if you're sitting there going, well, yes, the hell it did, I need you to know there could be some factors as to why that could be the case, and this particular pile wouldn't be yours. You know what I mean? But so to be clear, I'm not saying like it never can be the case. I'm saying for this particular pile, you've been doing the work, babe. You have been. You are the alchemist. All right. You are the emperor, well underway to the new journey, the new earth, lifestyle, I like to say. It could be some significance to music. Oh, hell yeah. Um, it's funny. I don't know if this is supposed to be a hat or what. He got a crown and a hat. But I was just getting that music looking, or I mean, that hat or whatever looking like a record player. And I cut the deck, you guys, to the lovers, which does speak to communication as well, right? Um, there's that microphone. This deck is pretty cool. I like it. But yeah, all right. So it's giving, they tried it, and, you know, you have the free will ability to kind of hyper focus on, what quote unquote went wrong if you want to. But I'd advise against it because when you stop and turn around and look, you're taking time out. You are utilizing energy, and perhaps you're holding yourself up. You know, like we said, and pile number one could also be of some significance for you too. Just walking off, leaving. Well, actually, this was pile number two as well. Walking off one timeline and leaving into brighter, better days. And really, how much more bright could you get? We had the sun card come out, right? That's pretty bright. Just saying. It wasn't even the moon, which can be also bright. Somebody asked me one time, they're like, "Do you ever notice how the moon?" How did they say? They go, "Do you ever notice how the moon doesn't really light up anymore?" And I was like, "What?" Like for me, the moon is. Sometimes I'll be like, "Hold on, is that the bat signal or the moon?" Like it just feels like it shines down. So glowy for me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Cause I even checked and looked. I'm like, no. I don't know. Not too many this time, you guys. Like, pile number one had damn near half the deck. Kinda. Oh, you know what? Let me do the, I'm gonna ring the bell for the final call, you guys. For the freebies, those that know. And if you don't know, alright, please check the description box or ask. We might have, oh, Fiona, our lovely moderator, still on here with us. Alright. Well, let me get these out so I can close pile number two really quick, you guys. Bear with. Oh, man. Let me find out pile two is Fiona's. I see this F. I think Fiona every time. Well, thank you, Fiona, for the live stream rules. We've got Scorpio at the bottom of the deck for the chart placements, you guys. For pile number two this time. And a couple more. Virgo, Pisces, and Libra. As far as the initials, let me see. I just want to make sure. Okay. Oh, maybe somebody's initials or name could be then JD or DJ. We've got F for Fiona. We've got R. And we've got O. All right. So, again, somebody could be manifesting a new Ford vehicle. I see Ford. Ford. Somebody's name could be Jordan, whether guy, girl, what have you. But really, with this FOR energy, all right, whatever's coming in is specifically for you. All right, your answered prayer, it answered past tense. Okay, I know maybe you didn't see it yet, but it's already answered. You guys, this life is so spiritual, right? That in the spiritual realm, shit happens first and then trickles down into this. Okay, what we got going here. All right. So it's okay if you don't see, it's okay to give yourselves permission. And many of you know this for pile number two, but I do like to go over it so we can get it in to our whole entire essence. All right. So it's just not as much work anymore to manifest. All right. That's what I want for all of us. Okay. So keep going. In pile number two, you are doing a bang up job. I already know. We've got this tribal card come out again. All right, so maybe somebody has this type of aesthetic or cultural background. Doesn't have to be the case. Same deal here. Um, Somebody could be from Russia, or I'm hearing Czech Republic, but is that still something? Sorry, I don't mean to be offensive. I'm not sure if I'm saying if wait, because UK, no, not UK, Czech Republic. I'm not sure if that's actually the name anymore. I forget. I'm so sorry. We've got skin condition again. What's going on with the skin? Y'all need to get your celery juice going on. No, let me stop. But seriously, celery juice is really good for the skin if you juice it. But please, especially with celery, you gotta get organic. Extremely long story short. All right. We've got skinny coming out. Okay, speaking of, okay, get the celery juice, skinny. All right, whoa. There we go. All right, somebody could be a man. Green eyes could be of some significance. Here we go. Tarot reader, earth angel, healer, right? Some might subscribe to be a witch. Somebody has facial hair, whether guy, girl, what have you. Somebody could wear suits, wear colors, wear colorful suits. Somebody could be very young or young in aesthetic. All right, you look young for your age, perhaps. Here, pound number 2. And you know what, you guys, that usually is the case when you're doing, like, especially I can speak to you about this pound number 2 because you guys came out as, you know, really light worker energy, right? Tarot reading and things. When you are in alignment with your, you know, purpose, your divine destined blueprint or instructions, right? That often is the case. You do start aging backwards, you know. So it does stand to reason. And you know, it's funny because I was recently coming across a couple readers. I know Jadinia and oh my goodness, who was the other? I'm not gonna remember currently. I apologize. The other tarot reader's name, and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, wow, they definitely have a glow up going, but it makes sense because it really is part of the karmic dharma for, you know, being obedient, you know. But it's so interesting because, you know, and you guys know, uh, jealousy comes with that, and it's so funny because it's like if you knew like that basically there's a price for that, you know. There's a price to pay for everything, right? And it just is what it is. But it's just so funny how people just get it in their minds to just be jealous over some of the most interesting things. I'll just let it at that because y'all already know. I do not need to preach to the choir tonight or ever. Okay. Okay, so okay, grateful. See, I see you, right? And I'm glad that you're here, and I want you to know I'm speaking to you with love and not judgment. Okay, and I also want you to know I've been there. So I'm gonna ask, right? But you know, when you are manifesting, expecting, aka receiving abundance, you want to be in alignment with the abundance mindset. And abundance never ever goes, I need. Because when you are talking, speaking, and thinking about how you need, you are outside of that abundance mindset and you are in what's termed, and I'm lovingly telling you this, a lack mindset. So if you are expecting, experiencing, receiving more abundance, say it that way intentionally, right? Then you would not need. You would be grateful for what you are expecting to experience, to receive. And the next time you want to worry about Will it come in? You just remind yourself and the divine, whether you say God, universe, however you say that, again. Because hear me out, and I'm gonna ask. Okay, I'm not trying to avoid reading for you, right? But hear me out. If you ask and you receive the first time by faith and not by sight, do you need to ask again? No, unless the first time you asked, you were not believing. You have to ask. I've been there. I have thought I believed, right? Until I did. Or until I found out I actually wasn't believing. I got to actually focus in and really work through this and give myself permission to believe. Right? Just saying. So we'll see. Right? But also, not everything's so black and white. Healing isn't linear, they say, right? So often with money being attached to the agenda of healing and learning and growing our soul, because that's really why we're here, not just the money, right? You're going to learn lessons through money and abundance, because the divine, being the ultimate strategist, will utilize things we care about most, or perhaps the things we might feel like or fear like we need. See, if you need something, you don't have it. But if you believe that you've received something by faith because the prayer was already answered, then you got it, even though you don't see it. All right, but we'll see. Let's see what's what. So we got a very insightful yes, right? With the King of Swords. But look what's at the bottom of the deck. All right, so this is where you're heading, right? Get out of this. This is the no bueno. This is bleh, right? Nothing good here. This is fighting against you being in awareness fully of the fact that you have divine sovereign connection here, and with that connection can receive insight, all right, and awareness on some next steps as you've already been doing, right? Where is your focus though? Is it on, oh, I need? Because this is the I need. That's the whole I need energy right there. Does that look like abundance and like a good time, like everybody just chill and shit? No. This is pretty chill. I mean, it might just be you there though. Might be some significance about that. Just look more towards self than others. Right? Heavy theme lately. All right. Because when you're looking outside of yourself for some shit to fulfill you, like money, is that safe? Because what if the money comes, right? And then it goes again. Oh, does that feel safe to believe that the money alone is what makes you like okay, and outside of this, I'm really just asking you to kind of retrain your thinking about the ideation of money. I'm not saying it like you don't get money. You already have money. You've already had money before where you didn't know where it was coming from. Right? All you want to do is get to the path where you have performed enough growth where you kind of just sit on your throne a lot more than you have to get up and fight for every little thing, right? Well, continue. Don't give up. All right? Divine is going to assist you in the ways that you need to make change, and in the ways that you maybe need to, deepen your faith. If you're in need, you're in lack, though, babe. So I just lovingly remind you to just choose to not be in need. Choose to be grateful for what you maybe still are looking for. That's going to be a better turnaround time frame for you. And you know what? You guys speak over yourselves, your lives, right? I am security. I am abundance. My name is abundance. Abundance is addicted to my energy, Financial abundance is my portion, right? You know how many times people walk around going, I need this, I don't even know how I'm gonna, and you're using words, and you just, and so you formed your whole face to say that shit, and then at the end of it, what happens? Not anything good. Usually. Usually is not the cheat code to like unlocking abundance. Just and you guys, I've done that over, like, I didn't know any better. I never have the, and then you know what happened year after year? I never, and I never had, fill in the blank. Like, just, wow, it's amazing. It's like so powerful the way that words can be formed to assist us or break the situation completely, right? Free will. Bittersweet, I know. So, you guys, you either believe that you can achieve with, divine's assistance, or you don't. So you have to choose which one, and only you can choose. Divine can't even choose for you if you believe. That's why you have free will. Hello. So which is it? And don't change your confession. You want to be stubborn about something, be stubborn about how it works out in the end, and not how it just has yet to work out. Right? It would be more beneficial to just alchemize the situation, be stubborn in your faith, and find joy in what you can find joy in. If anybody out there is going, I can't find joy in anything, change your perception and try again. It's really that simple. I find joy in some of the smallest things. Toothpaste comes to mind. The ability to urinate comes to, like, when's the last time you thank the divine for the ability to chew, for the ability to use the bathroom facility, for the ability to breathe, for the ability to hear, for the ability to see, right? And a lot of people, instead of thanking and being grateful, they're complaining and they're speaking lack. And it's really sad because it gets really detrimental for those individuals, and they are co-creating that experience, and then often can turn around and feel like they are, in some right standing to blame God. Perception sometimes is just the only thing needed to make positive change in the miraculous, like that. All right, you guys. Did I miss anybody? I feel like nobody had questions tonight. I don't know. We had like 1.5 questions. I'm just joking. All right. Wow. Okay. Easy peasy breezy. I got probably another 11 things to do. Anywho, but I really appreciate you guys hopping on with your girl, and I hope you got something out of this one, just like I always do, right? But I feel like this one, in current energies with us being in Saturn retrograde, with the way that my words are coming out, you'd think it was still Mercury retrograde. My goodness. But the Saturn energy alone is hitting, so there is that. Sorry for the, I'm shaking my table. But there's some things I'll be sharing with you in the upcoming weeks. Bear with me. There's a lot. I almost started to go into it. I'm like, another day. But I really appreciate you guys hanging on and still being in support of the channel. I do want to ask you to meditate on whether or not there is something that maybe you missed, or maybe you weren't part of our wonderful family, our collective. At the time some of the other messages were posted on the channel, right, regularly, not, or also, also the lives. Take what resonates, please. Okay, those messages are timeless. All right, so you don't have to wait for, like, I always set the intention that whenever people find the messages, it's gonna resonate, it's gonna be timely. So please don't box yourselves in mentally by thinking, okay, it was posted, last March, and it's not applicable. If the title, if the message resonates with you, that's just what it is, okay? And again, the intention for all of the messages on this channel, anyway, um, is that the messages are timeless, okay? Unless stated otherwise, right? Through the channeling or through the title, all right? I appreciate you guys. I hope that you have a phenomenal weekend. Please remember that tomorrow is Self Care Sunday, right? I will be trying to figure out what content I can come up with my schedule. Bear with me on that, you guys. It has been all over the place lately, and just like all of us, I too am doing the best I can. All right, so let's keep going at this. And please know you're amazing. Please, you guys, you should be thinking about that at least like once a day, right? Like literally, like, how are you amazing? You'd have to ask yourself first, not somebody else, right? Because it's up to you to know firstly. And the reason why I'm so passionate about that, you guys, is because most of my life I did not know. I used to actually, it's funny because I can think back to a particular 4th of July weekend in my childhood, even. How sad is this? Why is Spirit making me say this? But, I had this thing where being an overweight child and everything, I got bullied and made fun of. I had this thing where I was like, okay, well, I'll just do it. How unloving, right? So I just got good at making fun of myself because I figure I'll just do it, and that way it can be like I can have some sort of control and get it over with. And then how sad is that though, right? Perception. Okay. um and it's funny because a lot more people like can't stand me now because I actually love myself now. I feel like pound number two, you get where where I'm going at with this. It's like confidence and arrogance are totally different things. But it's funny because arrogant people confidently try to say otherwise. Ay, ay, ay. But I digress. I don't know. I'm outing myself out on that particular July 4th story. But you just don't want to get into a situation or a lifestyle or a state of mind where you believe it's okay to think lesser than of yourselves, and you damn sure shouldn't be surrounded by individuals, whether they are your family members or not, that would allow for you to be in that state of mind. That's not loving. That's not love. Um, whether blood is thicker than water or not, whether, again, perception and, you know, it or people or places or things are either working for or against you. And same deal with the inner workings. You're either creating an environment, or co creating, I should say, an experience, an environment, a mental state, perhaps, right? Um, a thought pattern, okay, that is either helping or hurting. And it's up to you to know and be accountable for that. If and when people are not accountable for that, a lot of chaos can happen. I'd advise against avoiding doing that work, okay? For those that, maybe you do need to work out a little bit more, do need to take yourselves a lot more seriously, or you do need to stop making fun of yourself, right? I mean, it's good to laugh at ourselves. Like, we can't be serious all the time. But you guys, if you would have heard some of the jokes, oh my gosh, right? Throwing yourself under the bus is not loving, all right? No way around it. So, live intentional, you guys, okay? Be nicer to yourselves than moon cycles past, I'm hearing to say. All right. And what I mean by that is be grace filled. Did you have a long day and maybe you didn't get everything done that you expected to get done in that one day? Okay. Tomorrow's another day, right? That's better of a mental state than, oh my God, I can't get in there. I can't get, now you're spinning out and wasting energy on top of it. And you're still also not getting any more done. Is it helping or hurting, right? It's up to you to know. All right. I love you guys. I hope that you have a wonderful slumber tonight. And thank you guys for being so nice to each other when you come on here. I really appreciate the community vibes we got going. Please check out the community page on the channel. All right, so maybe you didn't check out that tab yet. There are some other tabs on this channel. I really hope that you guys enjoy. All right, so check them out, please and thank you. And until next time, love and light.